1%. Amit Gupta is head of equities at PMS at Motilal Oswal Private Wealth. Amit, good afternoon. Good to have you with us here. So should we start with consumer? Should we start with IT? Let's start with IT, Amit. I don't know if you heard Reema's masterpiece on what's happened with IT names and the factors and valuations, etc. And we've done this often. The only thing is every time we put this piece out, it's another 1,000 points gone on the IT index, right? What's the right value here? I mean, the question is how much deflation will there be? We don't know at this point. Is it just too hard to try and figure out? So leave it be. Look for ideas elsewhere.
In terms of valuations, I think we have not seen such a attractive valuations in IT large caps before. 13, 14 times these stocks are trading now. And I think, but you need to see that this is not a value market. The market is looking for future earnings growth. And this is where all the categories which are performing right now, they are actually on the back of that. If you see large caps have not performed, I'm not talking about only IT, the other large caps also, because the earnings growth expectations were in single digits. And in financial year 27 also, it is actually in single digits. So if you look at the mid cap category, right? So mid cap, they were growing in more than double, more around 24-25% of earnings growth was coming, and that's why the mid cap index is almost making the new life highs. I think the going forward where we need to focus is more growth, and this is where when the crude oil prices have come down, I think we need to start looking at some of these small cap ideas also, where earnings growth can go to into double digits. I think maybe more than 24-25% going forward in financial year 27. So I think that is where the major delta is going to come out. But I'm not picking the small caps still from the IT pack because the future growth is still missing. So we have to see the volume. So it is only the currency tailwind which came actually in favor of them. And in fact, in the Q4 financial year 26, that dollar revenue guidance also again was very muted. So we have to see the commentary going forward. Otherwise, we have to pick those ideas only which are moving more into artificial intelligence. Yes, already the inorganic growth already started. You have seen the likes of Coforge, Persistent moving into that direction. So I think the day will come when finally, as per the valuation and as per the earnings growth going forward with the AI book, we can start giving some value to these companies finally.
So you said you would bet on companies, small caps, where you are seeing about a 25% earnings growth. Can you name some companies where we are seeing such strong growth?
I can tell you certain sectors for sure, because if you see going forward, a lot of FTA agreements are also going to be signed. So our competitive strength will come up. So I think textile is one of the space where you will find some of these small cap ideas which can do much better. In fact, now the government has reduced the import duty on cotton. So those which are in yarn to fabric, their spreads are widening. I'm not talking about those which are taking input as polyester, but basically from the cotton side, I think the spreads are widening. And when the market is opening up now for the garment players also, I think those companies are the vendor to all these garment players and they are going to be benefited. So this is where the textile may be one space. I think automobile we have been talking about now. After the GST cut, you have seen the numbers are coming good. In fact, this month numbers again have been very good. That shows that the consumer discretionary as a theme is going more into the automobile space. But my sense is more money can be made in the auto ancillary space because that is also linked with the FTA agreements getting signed either with UK or Europe or extra or somewhere else. I think you will get a good tailwind in auto ancillary as an export opportunity also when the rupee is also is not at 82, 83 rather it is at a 94, 95.
Top ideas, Amit, in both textiles and auto ancillaries. What are the picks?
So I will not be able, because of the compliance, I will not be able to take the stock names. But I think sector specific opportunities are there, Prashant. In fact, not only this, if you see from the transformer, because that is what people have already been talking about. I think if you see the solar 25 gigawatt that we created, if you see 30 gigawatt we are going to create now next year. And if you just imagine power grid in the entire lifespan, they have around 5 to 5.5 lakh square kilometer of transmission line in India. But now with this 30 gigawatt, you need almost 1 lakh square kilometer, because Rajasthan and Gujarat, that is where this solar is coming up. Or you can count Maharashtra also. But where you are transmitting to UP, Bihar, West Bengal. So almost 2,000 kilometers of lines are there. And one thing now, the government is very focusing that there should not be transmission losses, because we used to have 7-8% of transmission losses, where they are trying to reduce to 1 or 2%. And that is where the new opportunities of HVDC, transformer oils, oil filled cables, a lot of opportunities are coming up, where I think a lot of vendor companies in India from the manufacturing side, it's a good time for them to start performing. And that is where the future growth is imbibed.
So you make talking about transformer makers like your CGs of the world, and are you talking about electric tower EPC companies like KEC? Which segment, or there are others as well? Which category?
So one is obviously the transformers, where I think if you see the transformer prices have already zoomed up, especially in the step-up transformer, by almost 78 to 95%. That is one category for sure. But there are vendor companies to transformers, which are giving transformer oils or etc etc. I think those vendor companies one should start looking at. Opportunities are there, yes, because when you are doing your maths, sometimes the stock prices have already moved up. And that's why if you see, market is giving opportunities, market is seeing some intermediate corrections, and that is where the opportunities are coming to start looking at those companies. I think AI infrastructure as a theme is really building up, which is linked to data centers, because that air trunk, for example, from US is expanding big time. They are going to bring out of the 9 gigawatt that India is coming out in data centers, 4 to 5 gigawatt is going to come from that. And I think ultimately, that what kind of services, what kind of things are required for data centers. I think that the whole ecosystem, I think whenever the corrections are coming, we should look at, because earnings growth is imbibed over there. And I think this is what market is going to value.
Okay. Thank you, Amit, for joining in. For the markets, we're